wanted to kind of address on something else as well. And this is on the offensive side of the ball. And Chris Thomsen, man, he's been cooking with hot grease lately on the recruiting trail and also on the transfer portal, most specifically. With Jaheim Bell, Kyle Morlock, he's got guys in the tight end room now that are established. And let's not forget about Marquise and Douglas and Brian Courtney and all these other guys as well that he has on the room. How excited are you to finally have back when I guess you could say Cam McDonald and Jordan Wilson were both the two tight ends that were better, I guess, in the first years of Mike Norvell. But how do you think that room has really developed into something more so special?
Hey, Chris Thomsen been paying attention. I'm gonna include me myself too. Chris Thomsen been paying attention to us, tweeters, so man, he set all of us up. He set all of us up, Central. So man, it's amazing what he has done, man. Even with Biscuit,
Yeah,
like that's such a surprise, man. Because I don't want to sound rude,
yeah,
but I'm being so honest. Like it got to a point I have forgot that Biscuit was on the team. That's not trying to be rude. I'm just
yeah.
being totally honest. Like it got to a point that I just didn't. It didn't click up here. But man, this season, I would never ever forget Biscuit. I would never forget Biscuit. And you can see in the Oklahoma game of how he
Yeah.
just progressed, man. Like he just came. And I got a homeboy, he an FSU fan.
Uh,
Man, I can't get him to stop talking about Biscuit now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He think Biscuit is one of the best tight ends in the ACC. So, and then you add on Kyle Morlock
Yep.
and the number one tight end in the portal, Jaheim Bell. So
Yep.
Chris Thomsen definitely been paying attention to our tweets. That's all I'm gonna say.
I will say this, and I'm just going to be realistic with you. I mean, Marquise and Douglas, I'm a huge fan of him. We talk from time to time, every so often, and you look at him before the season and everything. He was 91 pounds at one point. Had a medical disqualification, kind of leaning in. You really didn't know what was going on with that. You thought maybe he might be disqualified, and he got himself back together. I mean, he was even probably going to be working with the offensive line for as big as he was at the moment. And once he finally found himself, I think he's down to 273 now, 268, whatever it is now at this point. But just looking at him, I mean, you're seeing the athleticism start to finally catch back up with him. And you even saw, I believe it was Louisiana Lafayette, A.J. Duffy threw his first touchdown to him, one-handed catch, out of nowhere. I mean, you never would have expected that from Biscuit from a couple of years ago. And he was a three-star prospect, was a basketball star. You really didn't know what to expect. And next thing you know, he is really kind of developing into his own. The staff is even super excited, and Mike Norvell's talked about this before. Jarrell Powers, a guy that they really like at that position out of Duncanville High School, was actually teammates with Jalen Early, who's on the offensive line. Could be another stud there. Then you got a guy like Brian Courtney, who is played quarterback and defensive end at one point, and switched over to tight end. I think that was a huge thing for Florida State because I think he's one of the best tight ends they have on the roster. I just don't think they've utilized him quite yet to his potential. But I think once he finally gets to where he needs to be, man, it could be scary. And I'm super excited. I know it sucks because we're losing now on a Wyatt Rector. I know he's a big proponent of special teams, him and Brendan Gant. Brendan Gant's hopefully going to be here and everything, and he's got one more year left on him. But just super excited to see how the tight end room is consistently developing. And when you look at this tight end room 2 years ago, there were some question marks. And now when you're looking at it, man, there is some true excitement to Mike Norvell and his utilization of tight ends as a whole. Because we thought, man, tight ends are a laughing joke at this point, and we really didn't know what to expect. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that was just something that you always look at, and you never know what to expect from those guys. So I mean, that was definitely a win for that.